All right, y'all. I just wanted to make a quick video. Listen, man, I'm tired of people saying, oh my gosh, I don't have the motivation. I just can't hit the gym because I don't have the motivation. I keep telling y'all motivation has nothing to fucking do with hitting the gym. There's literally no correlation, guys. There is no correlation. You go to work whether you're motivated or not. Do you not? You go to work whether you're motivated or not. If it's raining, if it's sleeting, if it's snowing, it doesn't fucking matter. You're going to show up to work, right? Because you know if you put the work in, right? If you show up to work, if you work that overtime, you get extra money on that paycheck and you want that paycheck. Same thing for the gym. All right. If you're not motivated, you still show up because you know the long-term results you desire. You want that V taper. You want those abs. You want those bigger shoulders. You want a bigger chest. You know that you got to show up regardless. And a lot of times when you actually show up to the gym and you work out, you feel better afterwards anyways. But it's really just a testament to life, man. Like being successful in any aspect of your life, whether it's fitness, anything else, career, it literally entails showing up when you don't want to, doing the things that you don't want to do to get to where you want to get to. It entails that. You can't get around that. And a lot of you guys try to get around that. A lot of you guys try to skip the hard work, the process. And the craziest thing is, like, for some of y'all that work in, different careers, you guys know exactly what it takes. You got your bachelor's, you got certified, you stay consistent in every aspect. But for some reason, when it comes to fitness, you think that as soon as you have a goal, as soon as you set a goal, it's just going to happen. It's just going to manifest and come out of nowhere. And that shit makes no fucking sense, guys. Listen, all right? This is the reason why they say discipline over motivation, because like I said, motivation just has nothing to do with whether you show up to the gym or not. Like, if you're not motivated, who gives a shit, right? Your results don't fucking matter. Your results don't care is what I mean to say. Your results do not fucking care whether or not you're motivated or not. They just know that if you show up and you hit the workout you're supposed to hit, they know that if you show up in the kitchen and you eat what you're supposed to eat, then your results are going to show up, all right? I think it's one of the lamest excuses to be like, oh, I'm just not motivated. And a lot of people are like, hey, Luther, if I had motivation like you, I would be in the gym. I'm like, bro, I'm 50% of the time I go to the gym, I'm not motivated. Today I went to the gym, I wasn't motivated. You know what I mean? But I still showed up to the gym because I know it's a lifestyle, man. Like, think about this. You got to make it a habit. You got to make it a habit. Think about this. When you're little, your parents have to force you to brush your teeth. Your parents have to force you to take a shower. That doesn't mean you have to be motivated to brush your teeth or motivated to take a shower. Because if you have to be motivated to brush your teeth, then we'd skip a lot of teeth brushing and we'd have gingivitis and all this other crazy shit, right? If you're not motivated to take a shower, you smell like ass and probably get fired from your job, right? Those are things that you just do because they become habits. Like, fitness is not, like, going to the gym or working out, being active. It's not really, honestly, it's not supposed to be like a choice. It's supposed to be just part of your self-care, right? Your body is like your car. Going to the gym, eating right is like getting oil changes, getting checkups, shit like that. A lot of us wait for the check engine light to come on before we even go to the fucking doctor, right? Before we eat a vegetable, before we eat in a calorie deficit, before we stop eating candy. Like, we might have like a heart palpitation, or you might just feel really sluggish and out of breath. And then you go to the doctor and the doctor's like, hey, you have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and high cholesterol. Last time you didn't have all those things. And that's when your check engine light goes on. And that's when you're like, oh shit, I got to do something about it. Whereas you should be proactive instead of reactive. You should be doing these things because it's your body, all right? At the end of the day, I'm not really trying to force you to do anything, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror, you know whether or not if you are happy with where you are. You know whether or not if you are doing everything that you can to reach your goals. And that's usually what bothers people, is them doing not everything in their power to reach their goals. That's where self-esteem comes from. Self-esteem is not some shit you get from, sleeping with different chicks, something you get from getting compliments from different people. Self-esteem comes from within. It comes from you having integrity with yourself, from you showing up every single time you say you're going to show up. That's what gives you that integrity. That's what gives you that self-confidence, that self-esteem. That's where it comes from. It's from you keeping commitments to yourself. If you say that you're not going to press the snooze button, and you press the fucking snooze button, that's going to fuck with your head. If you say you're going to hit the gym 5 times a week and you're going to be serious this time and you don't do it, that fucks with your head. And now it's harder for you to keep commitments to yourself. And then you're wondering why every time you set a goal, you can't accomplish it, because your mind doesn't even fucking believe you. Everyone around you doesn't believe you because you failed so many times. All right. So if you want to be successful, specifically in the fitness journey, guys, you need to make sure that you do. Listen, the bare minimum in the fitness journey, let me tell you the bare minimum. If you do these things, if for some reason you ignored the whole fucking video, but you just did these things, you'd reach your goals. I say this every day on TikTok Live, and most people aren't doing them, which is why they're not at their goals. If you do these things, you'll literally reach your goals. Listen up. If you show up to the gym 4 to 5 times a week consistently. I don't care what the excuse is. I do not care what the excuse is. There's no excuses. Just show up 4 to 5 times consistently, because you can make an excuse to me. That's cool. But your results are going to be like, oh, he didn't hit the gym this week. Okay, he's just not going to get results. That's what your results are going to say, all right? So you can give your excuses to me. I don't fucking care. Your results don't care. So show up to the gym 4 to 5 times a week. That's number one. Stop eating fast food, guys, all right? There are healthy fast food options. Most of you guys aren't making those fucking healthy options. No one is making the healthy choice when they go to fast food. That's the point of fast food. Like, you go through the line and they have like the big ass burgers and fries and you're like, I want those. I don't want a grilled chicken wrap. Why the fuck would you go to a fast food restaurant for a grilled chicken wrap? People rarely do that. So stop eating fast food. That's number two. Number three, stop drinking liquor and treating the weekend as just like time to binge and drown your sorrows in like liquor or smoking weed or smoking cigarettes or vaping. All right, stop doing that. Stop doing that. All right, stop eating processed foods. That's number four. Number five is, as far as grocery shopping, actually buy foods that are high in protein. So when you go home, you're like, why can't I hit my protein? Because you don't have any fucking protein in your house. A lot of you guys can't hit your protein because you have no protein sources in your house. All right. Like, if I had no protein around me, I'm not hitting my protein goal. That is common fucking sense. All right. For some reason, when I ask you guys, hey man, what do you have in your cupboard? And you tell me Oreos, I'm like, I don't understand why you can't hit. Obviously, I understand why you can't hit your fucking protein goals. You have Oreos in your cupboard, and you have the healthiest thing you got in your house is freaking whole milk. All right, you got cereal, you got whole milk, you got Oreos, you got leftover Popeyes, leftover KFC, you got some leftover pizza as well from last week, and then in your freezer, you just have chicken wings and shit like that, right? If you don't surround yourself with protein, you will not, and I mean you will not, be able to eat protein. It's just very basic. Like, how could you consume something you're not surrounded by? Because if you go get fast food, you're just going to get unhealthy options like what's in your house. All right. Last thing is, get active. Get some steps in. If you're at 2K steps, get to 5K. If you're at 5K steps, get to 10K. If you did those things, you would be fine. But obviously, people are going to watch this shit and still not do it. I see that a lot. I see it 24/7. You're going to hear this advice. You're going to be like, you know what? He's right. Maybe I should stop eating fast food. And then you're going to be chewing on Popeyes tomorrow, right? Or chewing on Five Guys. And then you're going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter. I can eat fast food every once in a while. Obviously, you could eat fast food every once in a while. I could eat fast food every once in a while. But if you're big as shit, obviously you're not eating fast food once in a while. Obviously, you're eating it consistently. So it might be a trigger food, or it might be something you have a small addiction to, because food is addictive, guys. I've been there. That's why I tell you guys to stay away from this shit. Some people are like, oh, you can have it in moderation. Those are the people who have been fit their whole life. Those are the people who have been surrounded by fit people their whole life. Because fit people, obviously, if they're already at their goals and they've been maintaining it and they understand the lifestyle and they understand how to be consistent, they don't have a problem with food. But if you are overweight, then you clearly have, if you're severely overweight, you clearly have a problem with food and you're addicted to it. That's fine. But you have to acknowledge that first. So saying that, oh, I'm just having one meal and one margarita, I mean, if you have that every week, you just might be in denial, guys. All right. So the motivation shit, stop saying you're not motivated to go to the gym. That shit's lame. It's dumb as hell. I don't know how you think that's a good excuse. Imagine if you go to work, or you don't show up to work for a week and you're like, hey boss, I'm back. I just wasn't motivated. They're like, okay, cool, you're fired. That's simple. That's how your fitness goals are. They're like, okay, I'm about to give him some goals. And you just don't show up because you're not motivated. Your goals go away. And then you're like, dang, I don't know why I fell off, because you stopped trying. You stopped showing up. The only way to fail on the fitness journey is literally to give up. That is the only way. Literally. That's the only way. Like, when you stop trying and you quit, that's the only way to lose. Like, if you keep going and you make mistakes and you don't have the best workouts, or, you did something wrong, or you're working on your form, it doesn't matter. Over time, you're going to get better. People always ask me, how do you get better at this form? How do you get better at that form? The easiest way to get better at any form for any exercise is being consistent. Because when you do something over and over and over again, you're naturally going to get better at it. It's just going to happen. And then when you start actually building muscle, you're also, obviously, it'll be easier to do certain movements, right? So yeah, that's one of the biggest things I see. It's pretty fucking annoying. Like, I don't know why people think that, I don't know. Like, the waiting on motivation mindset is very similar to the lottery mindset. Like, if someone's like super, super down bad and they're like, man, let me just get this lottery ticket, man. Hopefully I win. It's just putting all your hope and giving control to one small thing that's very unlikely, instead of focusing on everything that you can control and taking back control of your life yourself. That's what I've noticed. And that's what the fitness journey is about taking control of your life yourself, which means that, like, hey, I don't have access to a gym. Okay, let's not focus on what you don't have. How about you do at-home workouts? How about you, if your gym's like 5 minutes away, how about you take a bike to the gym? Sometimes you can, carpool to the gym. There's a lot of different things you can do. You got to focus on what you can control, though. Like if you just have like, if you're living with your parents and they feed you shitty food or something like that, and you're like, man, I would be lean if I didn't eat that shit. I mean, listen, work a job like I did and get you some simple foods. You don't have to go crazy with it. You can spend like a little $70 on groceries. Eat a little bit of what your parents eat, and then just buy some extra protein powder, especially if you're young. Buy some extra protein powder like I did, right? And then, get some eggs, get some chicken breasts, get some rice, like a big bag of rice, and get some potatoes. That'll last you a very long time. You know what I mean? And then, you can eat a little bit what your parents eat. If it's not fried, they might make like some pasta or some shit. You can eat a little bit of that, and then you have your protein powder now, so you can hit your protein goals, and then you'll see yourself making more progress. You got to try. You got to try with what you can, right? You got to start where you are and start with what you have. A lot of you guys are waiting for the perfect moment. There is no fucking perfect moment, bro. That shit is stupid as hell. Like, oh, I'm just waiting for a perfect moment. Listen, if you think you're too busy now, your life is never going to not be busy. Like, if your career is busy right now, that might slow down, and then your relationship might get busy. And then when your relationship and your career is good, you might have something else happen. Some crazy shit happen or something like that. Or a family matter going on. There's always going to be something going on. Whatever you prioritize is what you're going to do, right? So if you're overweight, obviously, no matter what's going on in your life, you're prioritizing eating the wrong foods. So now all you got to do is prioritize eating the right foods. It's very, very simple, guys. And a lot of you guys are caught up on like Netflix shows, Amazon Prime shows. The ratings don't make themselves. The ratings are not bots. All right. The ratings are not bots. It's people. So that time you spend watching Amazon, you could literally do a quick workout and then watch Amazon. You could do both. All right. I'm not going to say cut out Netflix, cut out Amazon, cut out video games. No, you can still do all that shit. Listen, you can play video games. There's nothing wrong with playing video games. You could work out and then go play video games. I did that shit when I was in monk mode. You feel me? That's actually pretty effective. Video games are pretty good. I'll get into that in my monk mode video. But yeah, you could play video games. You could watch TV shows. Just make sure that you did everything that you needed to do. You feel me? All this, oh, don't play video games, don't watch TV. Oh, that's for NPCs. I mean, if you spend 12 hours a day watching TV, then yeah, that might be an issue, guys. That might be an issue. But if you spend like 1 hour winding down, you watch TV and then you fall asleep, and then you go to sleep right after that, and you wake up and you execute everything you need to and you repeat the process, there is nothing wrong with that, guys. All right. So yeah, prioritize your time, and whatever you prioritize, you're gonna do. Like a lot of people, they just enjoy eating different foods and shit like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but don't expect results if you're eating shit and you're drinking liquor. That's all I'm saying. All right. Peace out.